book covers and the hemp cord that I'm going to bind the book with. I'll be showing you a zenith paper drill to make holes in the book block, and then we're going to be sewing it together. The cover paper is khadi paper with Suminagashi printing, which you can see a video of on the Bindfulness feed if you want to see that process. I'm going to use a template that I've made earlier. I'm using the paper drill to make the holes, following the pattern that I've already established on the template. I'm waxing the thread for two reasons. It stops fraying on the thread. It also means that the thread sticks throughout the sewing process so that things are a little bit less slippery. The first step is to open up the book block, and because the end of our book is bound, it's perfect bound, it's glued all together, we're going to go in from the middle rather than in through the edge. Either way is fine, but if you have a sealed edge, you don't want to be going through that. So we go through the first hole and then we hold it firmly. Every time we make a stitch, we're going to hold everything firmly together and hold the last stitch that we have so that we can get tension on the next stitch. Giving it a little pull in the direction of my sewing, and then I'm going to go over to the next end hole. Once that's been pulled through, give it a pull in the direction of your sewing and hold it firmly so that you can do your next stitch. You're going in through that same hole, straightening up the stitch before you firm it up. And because the wet thread is waxed a bit, it will stick a little bit there rather than trying to unloop itself. So I'm going to hold that stitch firmly in place once I've straightened it up, and then go around the end and reposition it as you need to. Now we're going back into the original hole. And this is why the holes need to be a bit generous, because you're putting thread through each hole multiple times, and this hemp thread is quite thick, so it needs the space. Linen thread is a little bit thinner, but you still need that space to get through the full book block. Holding firmly again, going through the third hole. So basically with this stitch you're going along and around, along and around. So where I've reached the other end, I'm going to go around, give that a nice pull after we've straightened it up. And then we're almost through the full process of sewing. Giving it another pull and coming through our last space. The last space might be a bit tricky because it's full of thread already, but just give it a good pull. And then to close everything up, once you've straightened up your stitches, you go under 2 stitches there and then through the loop. Now, if you're using linen thread, I would knot it twice. I think this will be fine knotted once. And then I'm going to push down through that same hole. Give it a really good pull to pull the knot in to the book block. Just cut the excess thread.